So, hello everyone to the fourth episode of our Pong clone series. So, actually, I have already recorded this once, and this is the second I'm recording this because the audio recording didn't work. So, I will just explain what I did, right? So, let's go straight and dive into the code. So, okay, let me just first show you what I did. So we first yoinked the wall off, and now we have another player and a line right there. So this player is impossible to defeat because they okay, let me just explain. So we have the player right. So we have our second player here. So we have his y axis. The x doesn't change. The x stays right there. And the y we just increase or decrease the y-axis. So making an AI for like an open opponent for us would be really hard. So what did we do? So it is impossible to defeat because the y-axis of the ball will always be the same as the player. So you just cannot escape this. He will always win. So it is more like how many points you can do till you lose. So let's straight dive let's straight see what we have done. So we have first created another player. We have set its size as similar as you can, and we have set its position and also its color. Okay, and we have set our line that goes right in between that. Okay, we didn't use any vertexes because it would make the code very complicated, so I didn't want it to do that, and I want it to be a bit thicker. I wanted it to be on the thicker side. So let's now see what did we do for collision. So we did the same thing. We got its global bounds and see if it intersected with the game ball or not. In this case it did not, or it did. You save that in a boolean value, and if that happens we just we change the direction of the ball in the x-axis. Okay, that's pretty straightforward. And in here we set the player 2's position to its x position, that's 770, and the game ball that positions y. So we can just remove this and say like 770, and the players what the second player's x-axis. Okay, so that's pretty cool. And that's probably all that I did. So I also have something more to do today, right? So in here, yeah, I have a impact metal plunger hits trumpet bell 02 dot wave. So I wanted to add every time the ball hits the player, I wanted to play a sound effect. Okay, so we have to go sounds in SFML. I need that class. So let's start. So we first have to load the sound, and we have to play the sound, right? We need a sound buffer. Load into this buffer and set the buffer to something like that. Okay, so let's try that. So let's go right here. So let's do like SF sound buffer, and let's say player ball sound, and then we can do if buffer if ball sound dot load from, so you have to load from file, and have to actually impact ball.wav. I rename it because it's a big name, ball.wav. So then we're gonna just return -1. I've missed a parenthesis, and yep, void function cout error, standard cout because I haven't included any namespaces, I'm not using any namespaces, so I'm gonna just say error loading file with the standard end line. Okay. So after loading it, we have to make a sound object. So let's do that. Sound, and let's see. Let's actually set it to ball buffer and ball buffer, and let's keep the naming a bit better. And yep, now create ourselves our SF sound, ball sound, ball sound dot set buffer. Why is it not working? I have no idea. So let's say something like ball buffer, and that's why. And now every time it hits, we want it to play it, right? So anytime it hits, so we're gonna do this ball sound dot play. Saying ball is very weird. I hope it plays. And if the terminal theme is a bit hard to understand, I'll change the opacity, so now it'll be better. Okay, so let's see, and yep, it is working, but the sound is not instant, so we have to do audio editing. It is really hard. Let's see if we can just use our Microsoft whatever Clipchamp or whatever it is, explorer.exe, got, and let's open with Clipchamp. I have no idea if it'll work or not, because we have to just reduce the time of that thingy. Okay, let me just do that off screen because I don't know what I'm doing right now. So after doing actually, did I do it? Yes, yep, we have cropped it, and we just have to change our thingy to its original name. Now, okay, I don't know what happened. Why did I get some sort of error? And why is it so? No, it's fine. I wanna let's do it again because I want it to be perfect. Let's again trim it a bit more because it's an online trimmer, bro. I don't know what to expect. Let me just trim it again. So that thing works. So I have found a bug actually, because in here, if I go to Xcali draw, we can see if our ball goes beyond this line, like beyond the player, if it goes beyond the player, then it glitches. Like it glitches. It shouldn't glitch. If that happens, like if it's in the player, it shouldn't be in the player, right? We just lose instantly because our ball doesn't have to hit this. It has to just pass that. Then we lose automatically. I wanna implement that now. So there are two axes. We set it to 0, but we are gonna set it to 20. Actually, if it's 19, because I want it 1, or 18 actually. Y velocity would be same, and in here it's gonna be 775. and the y-axis would still stay the same. Now if we do it, before even hitting it, why is it so fast, and why is it not? I have to add a method for that. Like, let's just see when the ball hits, and it hits. So I'm not seeing any glitches right now, and I just need to add a score system and a menu system, and our game would be pretty much over. And yeah, we completely lose, because there's no way to win that, right? We would have lose anyways. So that's that. So now we wanna first calculate the scores, right? Because you cannot actually win the game. We don't need a second player score, so we need just one score. So we just say our integer score, and it's gonna be set to 0 for every game. So let's first say if our player collides, right? So if our player collides, we're gonna first increase the score, and that should just probably be it. We have to show the score somehow, so I have to look for some fonts, and then I wanna do something like our menu system should be just, because it's a simple minimalistic game, right? So just there be a title here, and you can just say like press space to start, and if it's already running, then we don't do anything when space is pressed. But if we lose, we set the running is equal to something like false, and then only if we press space, we run the game. So that is kind of my logic for the game. It's a very bad logic, but it works somehow, and there is a lot of if else statements. So that's pretty much it, and I'll just find the fonts real quick, then we can continue our tutorial. So we have got our font, and it's a very cool looking font. It's called Arcade Classic, and I really like the font. So let's first load in the font, then we can see what kind of text we have to write. So I don't know why that identifier file even exists. I don't know, whatever that is. So let's first clean it, and we have only one file, and we have two assets, right? So first let's load in our, so we have our so we have to load in our font. Okay, so first we should call our font, then we should load our font, then it's called arcade, what is it called, arcade classic dot tdf, something like that. And should it be capitalized? I don't know, actually. I have no idea. And then we're gonna say like standard cout error loading font. I don't want to add another standard error. So we have loaded our font, and then we have to create our text, right? That's pretty cool. So shit, I have to actually set it. So okay, let's first set it. SF text text dot set font, okay, and we're gonna text dot set string pong clone. Should be bold characters, and right in between, so it should be 400, and at one let's do 50, and let's see where we can set fill color. Should be SF color white. Text dot set style, and we can say SF text bold. I'm not gonna set it now. Set the position. Text dot set position, and let's for right now vector 2f. Let's do something like 400 by 50, and see where we land from there. So in here we say window.draw text. You're not seeing any errors, so that's a good thing, and it's not where I want it to be. Actually, that's a good point. Let's actually see pong clone. How does like the pong clone pong game? So there isn't actually. So I wanted to only print. I don't want it to print forever, and I don't want this to print. Actually, let's implement our logic, right? So let's start here. Let's say bool running is equal to false. So if running is equal to false, then we wanna do using the result of n. So if it is equal to false, then we do something like velocity dot x is equal to 0.0 f, velocity dot y is equal to 0.0 f. If running is equal to true, else everything should 0.0 f minus 3.0 f actually let's set it something like that. Yeah, okay, so it would be 3.0 f, and that should be that's how it usually is, right? So as normally it should be like that, we need some way to say like yep, right? So running is equal to true. So how to check key presses in SFML? How to tell if no keys press what? No. So in here we say if keyboard is key pressed, space event of type as of event. So it isn't, let's just say standard cout 1. So if it gives us one every time we press it isn't working. Let's just isn't like fs, let's change the space to something that we enter. I have no idea why it is not working. It should work, and somehow space is also not working. I don't know why. Backspace, they should be inner. Space should work. I don't see a space. And still it is not taking, it's not registering my key presses, right? To give us praise, not if it is always on real time input is useful. We want to check whether reading key presses into string. Let's actually just be like yoink yoink. Let's see if that makes a difference or not, because they haven't told me that I need to use it under that. So enter, and voila, that works. So it was that what I was fearing. So we can just change it to space, and we can just remove this. And if we lose, and that's the collision checker. So in this case, if we lose, it's on the game ball section, yeah. If game ball position not even return, consider running is equal to false. In this case, it will just change it, and the return statement running would equal to false. Yep, that's how we want our it to go. So let's see if our logic works. It has become a very long video. No, it's just 23 minutes. Okay. So first thing first, it's not working when we press. It is working, and now I don't know what. Okay. So something definitely is happening, guys. That is wonderful. Something very cool is happening. So let's just change it to 10, and let's just yeah, I get it. So it actually has nothing to do with that. So when running is equal to false, we have to set the game ball dot set position to its initial position, right? So its initial position is 400, and else it will just move on its own, right? So if we do that now, it's actually a minor bug. When we lose, we have to change the ball's original position, and it isn't 400. That's also an important thing to understand. It's 400 and 200. Actually, we don't need this one thing right now. And okay, so we set it to 200, and we have to do this. Actually, let's see this. So we print the we print if it is running, then we do that, and we print the text if not running. So if it's not running, then we draw the text. I do want to add some sort, so it's not, and just like that it works, and we lost. We can start again, and it is still not working. Why it's still not working, I have no idea. So whenever that happens, we have to set the game ball's position to 200, which is not setting. Before setting the velocity, actually we just want to set its position to 400. Make 89. Actually, let's think about that later. So running is equal to false, and before that we set that, and we set that. Okay, so let that thingy, and it's still and when we remove it, it's working, which works like a charm. So let's change the 8 to 10. 7. That's a big problem, brother. That's 7750. That's a big problem. Actually, I don't need it exactly, because I won't ever, like, the player won't ever lose in that access. So we can actually just remove this code. So let's just remove this. The only thing we have to worry about is this thingy. If it's okay, let's just see about that right now. If the ball makes it to there, and I don't know why it's doing that. We first set it to something, and it should just change its direction, right? It shouldn't change its direction. The velocity would be set to 0, and both velocities would be set to 0. Actually 3.5. I have made some minor. This shouldn't affect it though, right? Like, it shouldn't affect it. And player velocity. So if it collides, we do that, and now if it collides, we increase the sound, and we set it first. Let's see. If it collides, it gives it changes, right? When it collides, it shouldn't be something like that. So let's just set it to 0 for now, and we'll worry about that later. Let's say 1. So let's see if it's less than 9, and if it collides, x should be that. Okay, now if it doesn't work, then I have no idea, and I have to debug for a while. So I'm just gonna keep it right there, and there's the glitch. So because of all of that, I have no idea why it isn't working. Player game will move with velocity. if running. Now we don't have any, we don't have to even worry about this. We don't have to worry about, actually we have to worry about something here. But we don't actually need this now, right? Because only if it is running, then we draw the line and draw this too. We move the ball, because only while it is running we draw the line and move the ball, else we don't. And the collision is not working because it should just change the velocity to minus 3.5, and it's not doing that. Now let's see if it works or not. The ball's moving. It's moving somewhere. Yep, it's working like that. And it is moving. Let's see. Yep, it's working. It was something to do with the velocity, right? Because it's zero velocity and it's trying to move in a zero velocity, I guess. Okay. And if I lose right now, boom, we say pong. And now we need a score system. So I need to increase the font size, and I don't know how to do that. Okay, yep, I do know how to do that. In that text option, right? No. Text.set character size, and let's say like 24 right now. How many is it supporting? That's a big question. That's 24 is the basic one. So let's go with 36. It should, as it is a gaming font, it should supply me with a lot. And yep, they do supply me with a lot. So 50, I guess. Who knows what works? And I have to change the position so it is quite centered. So if we okay, that's pretty good enough. So in the, it's 400, right? So let's go like something like 310. Okay, if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Just about a bit. Actually, let's just change the 300 to 250. Yep, that's not bad, and when we start, it starts the game. So for the score system now, we have to set another score. So SF text scoreboard, scoreboard dot set font, every font, text dot set string would be, actually let's not do it right here, because we just need to copy almost everything. Scoreboard dot set fill color, SF color white. Scoreboard dot, we've set the font, we've set the color, position, right? Let's do it something like that. Let's have the 50 and 10 range. And it's actually scoreboard dot set position, and then we have, I'm actually gonna remove this. So, and scoreboard dot set the character size, let's set it to 16. So we say after that we just be like increasing the scoreboard dot set text scoreboard dot set string, so it's gonna be like score string I have to convert the integer to a string, and somehow I do not know how to do it. So how to convert int to string, I forgot everything. There should be a function, right? To string, yeah. To standard to underscore string, and it's gonna be our score, and yep, this should give me a string that it should print. So now I should do it right here too, because this is scoreboard dot set position, set string to string, let's set it to 0 because it's gonna be 0 anyways. So now we have some, if not running, we will draw the text, but we will set the score to 0 because it's not running, and the score should to be 0. If not running, the score will be set to 0, and if running, we are gonna window draw score board. I do not know what I did, but if it works, it works. Yeah, the 0 is working, and yeah, 1 is working. Now if I lose it, that is a real smooth game, bro. You cannot tell me that is smooth. So the final touches would be just to set it to like something like 80 and another text. It's gonna be sf text retry dot set font would be font, retry dot set fair, retry dot set fill color, so we set the color to color white, we set it to size, set character size to 50, we set it to be exactly at like 300 by 200, or we can just say retry dot set position 300 by 200. Then we can say retry dot set string, press space to start. And let's set a smiling face. So that's, I guess, about it. And in under here we need to, while it is not running, window dot draw retry. If it works, our Pong game would basically be complete. It was a really fun series to build, and it should be a lot. And okay, in here, so let's say in the 200, let's say to 400, and let's say to 100, and let's say to 40, and let's see what happens now. The colon is not working, but we have press space to start, and I don't know why they removed the space. So let's add a bit more space to the mix. Now let's see. Gotta be soft, bro. You're making a cake, just be soft. And it's pretty good looking now. I do want to increase the Pong clone, the main title, as it's our Pong clone. So let's see how it looks now. We will have some sort of main menu thingy, and now it works pretty smoothly as it should, except some SFML glitches, man. I know there are glitches. Should I add some sort of like high score system? And there is that glitch that I want to fix. Now I can actually fix that. So it would be something like, where was the code? I do not remember. Okay, so something like here. So we set it to 18 because if it is less than 18 we already lose. Something like that. No, 18. How is it? 18. If it's less than 10 then we already lose. And if it's, and the other one, we don't have to worry about that. And now that glitchy thing shouldn't happen. So let's resize our window. I do want to add window resizability because it will make things pretty cool. And yep, we lose. Okay, that's it for today. It was a long video. Thanks for following the series, and I really appreciate that you watched the video. Thank you. And I'll be continuing some series, some other game, and I'm also gonna live stream. I'm trying the book Crafting Interpreters, and it's an amazing book, and I will learn about compilers, and I will write a compiler, and I'm gonna live stream all of that. So we'll see you there. So that's all for today. If there is something to add to the Pong clone, I will add it in the next video, or I will say like the series is finally over. So that's all. Thanks.